Who doesn't like glamorous, bouncy curls and celebrity-inspired poker straight elegant hair? Well, I love them. However, do you know that going through heat styling very frequently can damage your hair to no limit? Since the wedding season is in full swing, I'm sure most of us would be going through different hairstyling and heat tools in this time. So today I'm going to share 5 easy tips that you can follow to reduce and reverse the damages done by heat tools. But before we begin, make sure that you follow me on Instagram and Facebook, and don't forget to subscribe to my channel. So tip number 1 is to prepare your hair beforehand, just as you prepare your skin with a lot of skincare before getting your makeup done. In the same way, prepare your hair beforehand, and the best way to go about it is apply lots and lots of coconut oil at least a night before, because coconut oil is just one unique oil which has a super interesting molecular structure. It gets really deep inside your hair strand and it moisturizes the hair shaft super deeply, so it in a way prepares the hair for all kind of heat and chemical damages that can happen later. So make sure that you oil the hair properly, apply it on the scalp as well, give it a nice massage so that even the scalp remains super moisturized, and wash the hair before getting your heat treatments done. So in this way your hair will appear super moisturized and bouncy and shiny and ready to get the heat on. Tip number 2 is always go for a heat protectant before getting any heat styling done. Just as you stress enough on applying a sunscreen before stepping out to protect your skin from harmful UV rays, in the same way you need to apply a heat protectant before getting any of your curls or irons or whatsoever done. Even if you're going for a harmless blow dry, you need to use a heat protectant. I'm sure a lot of you would object that what damage can a blow dry bring? Just it's just mild heat and it's not even kind of touching your hair directly. But my dear friend, just let me tell you that heat is heat. You need to protect your hair at all costs. So what does a heat protectant do? It makes a very secure layer on your hair shaft, and so that the heat from the tool cannot penetrate deep into the hair structure, and this is how the hair is protected. So make sure that you use a protectant, and if you ask me about my favorite heat protectant, I have linked them down in the description box, so do check them out. Tip number 3 might sound very insignificant to some of you, but it is actually quite crucial. So whenever you are doing your heat styling, especially at home, using your hair curling wand or your iron whatsoever, make sure that you divide your hair in small workable sections. So basically it has 2 advantages. First, it saves up a lot of time. You will be able to style your hair swiftly, and you would know what part has been done and what part has been left. Secondly, it would reduce the heat exposure. Yes, because a lot of time it happens that if you haven't divided the hair properly and you keep doing the same section over and over again unknowingly, so it basically increases the chances of heat damage. But if you're clear with what sections are being done and what sections are left, it will definitely reduce the chances of heat exposure. So do try this tip out and you would see that it kind of brings down the chances of heat exposure. Tip number 4 is always apply some serum once you are done with your curls and with your iron, because what happens that whenever you are using a heat tool on your hair directly, the moisture and the water that is present in your hair shaft, it evaporates, leaving your hair very dry, frizzy and brittle. So whenever you are applying serum, like even if you take a very small quantity of serum, just say a few drops of it, and apply it like on your lens and tips, it kind of restores the lost moisture and does not make your hair very prone to tangles and frizz. So do try this tip out, and if you want to know that what serums could be used during heat styling, then check out the description box. I have listed them down all below. Tip number 5 is letting your hair relax once you're done with your special occasion or event for which you got the styling done. Yes, just like at the end of the day, you take off all your makeup and let your skin relax and breathe and apply some moisturizer and pamper your skin. In the same way, you need to pamper your hair as well once you are, done with your styling and everything. So what you can do is that apply lots and lots of coconut oil on your hair. Apply it on your scalp as well. Just give it a nice massage and let the moisture get restored in the dry and frizzy shaft. It will help reverse the damages that are done by heat tools, and it will also help with reducing the frizziness. So the next day probably your hair would look nicer and better and bouncier. So do try it out, guys. I hope all these 5 tips were of any help to you. Do try them out and let me know how did it all work for you, and I'll see you all very soon. Bye and take care.